she just say that Biden's not going to survive his second term?
Yeah,
in office?
And
is she saying he's going to be dead?
I think
what is she saying?
That's what she's saying.
Now
That's
she's
the implication.
Oh, I've
Yes, liberal medias are freaking out on social media recently that Nikki Haley said Joe is to die, so re-electing him as the president in 2024, you are electing Kamala Harris. According to this article, Nikki Haley, Joe is likely to die within 5 years. Going down on the article, Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley said Wednesday that President Joe 80 is likely to pass away within 5 years and that his supporters will have to count on Vice President Kamala Harris.
Not too long ago, GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley was outraged about Don Lemon claiming she's over the hill. He said something like she wasn't in her prime anymore. But now it seems like she's saying President Biden is about to be under the hill. Watch.
He's running again in 2024, and I think that we can all be very clear and say with a matter of fact that if you vote for Joe Biden, you really are counting on a President Harris, because the idea that he would make it until 86 years old is not something that I think is likely.
So did she just say that Biden's not going to survive his second term?
Yeah,
in office?
And
is she saying he's going to be dead?
I think
what is she saying?
That's what she's saying.
Now
that's
she's
the implication.
Oh, apparently,
yeah. Now she predicts the future.
I think it's terrible because what she wanted to do was really throw a dig at Kamala
Harris,
right? That's what she wanted to throw a dig at another woman of color. She wanted to throw a dig at the Vice President of the United States. And in doing so, she decided somehow that it was politically expedient to say that he would be dead in 6 years. First of all, that is completely crass. It's terrible for his family and for him to say something like that. A real politician, a good politician, doesn't say things like that. They're sort of a personal attack. And I think this country suffers from terrible ageism. You know, in other countries around the world, people they revere their elders because of the wisdom that comes with the age. And there's nothing to indicate that there's anything wrong with Joe Biden up here. There's nothing to indicate.
Well, she goes on to say something about how...
Before I go into this, let me say this. Watching or saying that somebody will not be alive in the next 10-15 years is not okay. I don't support that. Now, taking a look at this video and how these people are reacting, you will realize they are standing up to go after Nikki Haley. This same view, I have done a lot of videos here where they will make ridiculous statements on air. We recently had where this lady made it clear that if you are against abortion, you should be. She said it clear, and they came and made it clear that no, it was just a slip of the tongue, you know. The story fed away. When it's somebody else, the way they will react to that situation is different. It should not be like that. Why can't they think she said this?
Yes, right? That's what she wanted to throw a dig at another woman of color. She wanted to throw a dig at the Vice President of the United States, indicate that there's anything wrong with Joe Biden up here. There's nothing to indicate.
Well, she goes on to say something about how competency, but then if the age is the factor in competency, how do you explain Marjorie Taylor Greene?
One of the issues that I think we've got to get to about what Nikki Haley just said is the staggering hypocrisy. Just a few weeks ago, she was clutching her pearls and fundraising off that comment that Don Lemon made.
Yeah, I know.
Saying that it was ageist, that it was sexist, that it was this and that. Okay, so rules for thee, but not for me. So it's okay for her to be ageist, but it's not okay for somebody to be ageist about her. And look, I think it's so tacky. And let's just think about this.
Tacky is a good word for it.
Joe Biden lost a daughter when she was 13 months old. He lost...
Yes, let's assume that Nikki Haley was totally wrong. They are struggling to compare that to what Don Lemon said a few weeks ago. You cannot compare these. This same view never came to defend Nikki Haley that time. They were against Nikki Haley. if they stood up to say Don Lemon was wrong to say that, because that time I realized women came out to go after Don Lemon for saying that about her. The View never did that. They never came to defend Nikki Haley. But now she has made this statement. They are now struggling to bring out the fault in it. And Sunny Hostin is there talking about skin color of Kamala Harris, bringing in this issue of race, which I don't see that to be in this case. If you are a politician, you will obviously say some kind of things, to trigger a lot of people. Okay, we are talking about Nikki Haley. This man is old. He's really old. It's not like you must not be alive. You can be there, maybe even the power to do some kind of things. He will not be able. Like even now, we see a lot of things happening. We should not lie. We should not pretend like we are not seeing this. We are seeing that. So if people are coming out to say some kind of things, you should understand. He never pronounced anything like that. It is just what they have interpreted. I've seen a lot of articles about this. We should be realistic sometimes.
And crass, but I'm just going to be honest. I think the issue of Biden's age is a legitimate one that we need to talk about. The average age that men live to, which is remarkably low in the U.S., is 73 years old.
So should the rest of Congress retire?
So I think, well, to be honest, I do think we need more generational representation in Congress, especially when some of the biggest issues we're taking on are the rise in technology, artificial intelligence, things that are new and of the next upcoming generation. But I mean, the issue is not a big one if he's against Donald Trump. Donald Trump's only 4 years younger than him. But in the same
And
way,
doesn't look like he's in good health either.
neither of them, to me, I don't want to see either of them run again, personally. But this idea of kind of the mental competency test, I don't think that you should do it because of age. I think we should have them across the board. I actually think...
Yes, she was realistic here. She said it clear that this is something that we need to look into. It should be a topic of discussion. Now, they had to point out, if you want to do that, let's look into the Congress to see if we can all remove everybody. They should retire. But there should be age limit, to allow some of these people, when somebody is old to a certain age, there are some things they do without even knowing. They used to say when you are old, you have wisdom, but there are some old people, they don't have wisdom. That is the truth. We should really accept this. If you are denying that there are some old people that don't have wisdom, I will not blame you. Maybe you have not experienced this. I'm talking out of experience. I've seen people that are of age, but they are not up there. They don't have wisdom. In the case of Joe, it's a sad one.